May 2026 was a month in which a number of important decisions were made in Sri Lanka regarding law, the economy, and development. From tax reforms to relief for farmers, and from environment laws to international corporations agreements, the government introduced a number of amendments. Some of these decisions may affect your life. Others may determine the country's directions to development over the years to come. One of the main bills presented to Parliament in May was the VAT Amendment Bill. Through this proposal, it is planned to include digital services provided to Sri Lankans online by foreign companies within the VAT system. It has also been proposed to increase the VAT rate on financial services from 18 to 20.5% as well as to increase the fines and penalties imposed on those who commit tax frauds and tax evasions. In addition, one of the objectives is to make tax administrations more transparent by making use of secure point of sale, which is also called POS machineries, mandatory for all VAT registrations and businesses. As a result of these changes, the price of the digital services you receive may increase. Likewise, with the increase in cost of banking, financial services, account maintenance fees, loan processing fees, leasing charges, and other services charges may increase. Another primary objective is to increase government revenue by reducing tax evasions. The most important point is that the bill becomes law on 30th June 2026 and is currently applicable to you. Another important amendment was introduced in relation to environmental laws. It is the National Environmental Amendment Bill. Through this bill, a number of new powers relating to environmental protections are granted to the Central Environmental Authority. These include conducting strategic environmental assessments, managing solid waste, and licensing hazardous waste, regulating chemicals, and charging fees for wastewater discharge based on the pollutant amounts and its environmental impacts. The strategical environmental assessment is to assess major policies, plans, and programs will affect the environment over the long term. For example, when preparing an urban development plan or establishing a large industrial zone, the long-term environmental impact are to be assessed. In addition, this bill grants the Central Environmental Authority the power to obtain court orders to remove unauthorized constructions located in the environmentally sensitive areas or they cause public inconvenience. It has also introduced responsibilities for manufacturers, vendors, importers, and later consumers regarding the waste generated after the use of their products. Manufacturers may bear the greater responsibility for managing items such as plastic products, packaging, and electronic waste. It is also proposed that the directors, officers of an organization or an institution may held personally liable for environmental offenses committed by that organization or institution. The law also responds to those who engage in activities that cause excessive ground or air vibrations. In addition, the courts have been given the authority where there is an environmental damage, to order responsible person or the organization to restore the environment as far as possible to its original condition, or to take necessary corrective measures to minimize the damage caused. For example, if an organization caused damage by discharging waste into a river, it may be required to addition to paying the financial penalty to restore the affected environment. Through all of these, the existing legal framework for environmental protection is to be strengthened by preventing environmental damages before it occurs, strictly controlling environmental pollutions, holding these who damages the environment accountable, and enhancing power to take necessary measures to restore damaged ecosystems. Through this, a safer, cleaner, and more sustainable living environment will be created for both present and future generations. Another important point is that although this bill was introduced in May, it becomes an act on 21st July 2026 and is in force for you. The cabinet took decisions on a number of issues in May. Special attention was given to agriculture. Approval has been granted to launch a joint project with Vietnam to develop a new rice variety that produce higher yield and are resistant to saline soils. It is also been decided to provide additional urea fertilizer for the Yalla cultivation season. In addition, the government has also approved providing compensation to farmers who suffered losses during flood and development projects. Among these decisions, stricter quality standards have been introduced for fruits and vegetables exported to the Europe Union. The objective is to improve the quality of Sri Lanka's exports and strengthen the confidence in international markets. In addition, approval has been granted to publish in the Gazette and present to Parliament an amendment bill increase the fines and violations of law related to employments of women, young person and children from 10,000 to 100,000 rupees, with the objective of protecting the income of local farmers and stabilizing market prices. Approval has been granted to the cooperative wholesale establishment to purchase potatoes directly from farmers in the Nuwara and Badulla districts and sell them through Lanka Satosa. In addition, by endorsing the Global Charter for Children Care Reform, Sri Lanka has affirmed its international commitment to giving priority to family-based child care. To know more about this, visit our website.